The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
At the time, Jesus walked by the Sea of Galilee, went up on the mountain and sat down there. Great crowds came to him, and having them the lame, the blind, the deformed, the mute, and many others, they placed them at his feet, and he cured them. The crowds were amazed when they saw the mute speaking, the deformed made whole, the lame walking, and the blind able to see. And they glorified the God of Israel. Jesus summoned his disciples and said, "My heart is moved with pity for the crowd, for they have been with me now for 3 days and have nothing to eat. I do not want to send them away hungry, for fear they may collapse on the way." The disciples said to him, "Where could we ever get enough bread in this deserted place to satisfy such crowd?" Jesus said to them, "How many loaves do you have?" 7, they replied, "and a few fish." He ordered the crowd to sit down on the ground. Then he took the 7 loaves and the fish, gave thanks, broke the loaves, and gave them to the disciples, who in turn gave them to the crowds. They all ate and were satisfied. They picked up the fragments left over, 7 baskets full. My dear friends, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
I had a very interesting encounter with one who has been following our masses here at the minor Basilica of Our Lady of the Rosary of Manaoag. So the person noted that from the moment na nag-lockdown, ilang months na, we've been preaching about hope, we've been preaching about kapit lang, we've been preaching about helping each other, we've been preaching about that theme ng paulit-ulit. And we would receive, according to those who take care of our social media account, that people are grateful, and then that this particular person was really extra grateful for the words of encouragement, the words of hope, the words of holding on to faith. But lately, she or he, the person, message, not the general chat, wherein she thanked the preaching of the priest here, but then meron ... But this time, Father, seriously, how do we really get through with what we are going through right now? Mukhang nababagot na rin, mukhang natatagalan na rin, mukhang medyo napapagod na rin. And normally, gano'n naman po talaga. No? At some point, no, kapag ka masyado ng mahaba, we ask the question, kailan ba talaga matatapos? How do we really get through with it? No? One disaster from the other, and then eto pa, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung mga issue natin sa pandemya. So again, how do we really get through with it? And that is something that is a very practical question, a serious question at that. At napaisip din na rin po ako kung paano nga ba. Economy, sabi nila, will still take some time before we pick up again to the pre-pandemic situation. Sa school, you were talking about hanggang kailan yung ganitong situation ng modular, hanggang kailan yung situation ng online teaching. Practically, we're asking the same question. And then, as the reason why, when reflecting on what I would like to share with you this afternoon, and then also at a loss for something concrete to tell that person who asked seriously, how do we really get through with what we are facing right now. Wala naman po ako ibang masasagot kundi yung nanggaling sa Ebanghelyo. And in the Gospel, we encountered the Lord facing people with deformities, the blind, the mute, those who could not walk. But the secret here is in this particular Gospel passage is that they place everyone who's going through difficult times with physical infirmities, they place them all at the feet of Jesus. Putting at the feet of Jesus is a way of holding on to what will continue to sustain us throughout. And then the promise is that everybody that was placed in his feet, they were cured. That invitation and that reminder is very clear in the gospel today. And then, the gospel is also consistent. Towards the end, after 3 days of preaching, of curing, of making the deformed whole again, of making the blind see, of curing everybody that was placed in front of him. And then na-realize ng Panginoon na nagugutom na yung mga tao. And then the apostles told him, send him home. Because we cannot buy, there is no store here that where we can buy something that will be enough for them. So the apostles saw what is lacking. But if you notice, the question of the Lord is, anong meron kayo? What do you have? And then, the answer is, we only have 5 loaves of bread and then a couple of fish. That's all we have. Why are you even asking? No, it's not enough. But what the apostles saw as lack or the deficit or as a want, the Lord saw as enough. Again, when the 5 loaves and a couple of fish were brought into the hand of the Lord, and he touched them, then everybody was able to be satisfied by the loaves and then by the fishes. Nakakain lahat at may sobra pa. So, what is it that we have? I am very sure many people are already afraid. Paubos na ang naipon. Magtatanim pa lang, dumating na yung bagyo. Yung 13th month pay na ibigay na nung kalagitnaan ng taon. Magpapasko, anong maihahanda? Even the little that we have will not be enough. My dear friends, the gospel is reminding us that what we can see oftentimes as a lack, as a deficit, as a want, when it is placed in the hand of the Lord, becomes sufficient. At hindi lang sufficiente, sobra pa. In this Mass, we are being invited by the Lord to look at kung ano yung natitira pa dyan. And do not be afraid kahit nakatiting na ang nakikita na dyan. Because yung nakikita natin nakatiting, the moment that we offer it and we ask the Lord to put His hands and then to lay His hands on them, I am certain it will be enough for us. Again, nangyari po ito nitong mga nakaraang disaster. We gathered small crumbs, sobra-sobra, yung mga tawag nito, mga tira-tira sometimes, yung iba naman buo, and we gathered them all together, one disaster after another. And we had enough. We were able to deliver the goods to those who are in need. And the same assurance that we tell them na hindi natin sila pababayaan is the same assurance that the Lord is telling us na hindi niya tayo pababayaan. Secret, 2 things. Find what is natitira sa atin, at yung katiting na yon, once it is laid down at the feet of the Lord, will be sufficient.